Hey friends, it's Rachel from the Ponds Farmhouse. I am here today to share another one of my DIY projects with you, and today we're going to be doing a scrap fabric heart pillow. And this is just a super easy, fun way to get rid of some of your scrap fabrics. I'm actually using some red and white ticking fabric that I had left over from the holidays, but it's going to be perfect for Valentine's. And I'm going to just show you real quickly how you want to do this. First of all, find your scraps of fabric, and you want to actually cut along the grain of your the way your fabric runs. And so this ticking fabric, this is the right side of the fabric up, and so I'm going to take and I'm going to cut a little section right here, about a ½ an inch wide. Just a little cut here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tear that, and that's gonna give me my strip that I'm gonna be putting onto the pillow. So you're gonna wanna have several strips because it takes quite a bit to fill in this whole pillow. And so we're gonna start with that. So all you really need is some scissors and some fabric strips so that you can, cut up. You're also going to want some fabric glue, so we've got that ready. The pillow cover that I'm using is a pre-made one. It's a cotton linen blend, inexpensive, but you could actually make your own pillow cover to put your heart on. What I'm going to start out with is I'm going to slide a piece of, this is actually just some cardstock, but if you've got cardboard, whatever, you just want to be sure that it's as large as the area you're going to be working on. You want to put that inside of the pillow cover. I have already made a template here of the heart that I'm going to use, and so we're going to center this up and make sure that it's centered, to the pillow. If you're not good at eyeballing that kind of thing and looking at it, you may want to measure. You can kind of measure and make sure that it looks like it's even from all sides. I'm just doing it by guess here. And then I'm going to take a marker, and you could use any kind of marker. I'm just going to do this so it'll show up for y'all. And I'm just going to trace around my template. Oops, I let it slip just a little bit, so be careful about that. You don't want it to slide. You just want to get a faint line. You don't have to have anything too dark because you're going to be covering it up. So there we go. We've got our heart on the center of our pillow cover, and I made sure that I've got my cardboard or cardstock or whatever you're using to protect between the fabrics. I made sure that that's in there exactly underneath the heart. Okay, so the very first thing we want to do is go ahead and add a little bit of glue. So I'm just going to start right on this very edge here, and I'm going to do a really thin. You do not want this to be too thick. You just need enough for it to catch and hold the fabric. So I'm just going to start with a little bit here, kind of go all the way around one time, and I'm going to spread that out a little bit because I don't want it to be too thick. If it's too thick, it takes forever for it to dry, so you don't want that. So we got that started, and then I'm going to take a strip of my fabric. This is a little bit of a longer strip. I want to start with as much as I can, because especially on these outer edges. So I would recommend using your longer pieces first. Now this one's got a lot of strings attached to it, so I want to kind of get rid of those. We're going to just toss those over to the side. And then depending on where you want to start, I'm going to start right here at this bottom corner, and I am going to actually pin this to the bottom here. I'm just going to take a pin and just slightly away from the edge here, I'm going to pin it down because I don't want it to slip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of turn these as I go, just kind of twist the fabric and lay it down and press it down onto the edge here. Now, there's a place right here that feels like it doesn't have enough glue, so I'm gonna put a little drop more on there. Okay, and we're just gonna keep twisting our fabric. Make sure you keep twisting in the same direction. You don't want it to go off, and just kind of hold it down as you go. Fabric glue, one good thing about it is it does dry fairly quickly, as long as you don't get it too thick. So we're just starting out with that, and then I'm going to work around the edge and come back to you. Okay, I've gone all the way around the very edge of it, and one other thing I want to mention is you do want to maybe have a few of your straight pins available just in case you need them. If it doesn't want to stay like right up here in this top, for some reason I was having trouble getting it to adhere, so I just put a pin in there and stuck it down. Now I'm at the very end and I'm still using the first piece that I was using. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start a second row. So we're going to come right in next to this one, and we're going to add another bead of our glue, and we want to get it right up next to where we were the first time. So I'm just going to go kind of about halfway around. You don't want to go too far, because if you go too far, it'll start to dry out too quickly. So I'm still working with the same piece, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep twisting it a little bit more, and we're going to pull it right to the inside of this one. And okay, I pulled it too far because I want to have a little, I want to keep my little peak of my heart there. So we're just going to keep twisting it and placing it down. And honestly, you can just, this goes very quickly because, again, fabric glue will adhere pretty well most of the time. But I've got my straight pins here in case I might need them. So we've got that one right there, and we're going to now just go right up against this one. And again, I'm pulling off some of those excess strings because we don't need those. And I'm going to twist it just a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit more glue there. It looks a little thin. And right where that one stops, we're going to add another one right in. And again, it doesn't have to be exact, because this is a scrap fabric pillow heart. And so regardless of how many times you have to piece it, it's still going to look good. So I'm about halfway back around now with my second row, and I think you can start to see how it's coming together. So let me speed this up for you, and let's see how long it takes me to get it done. Okay, now we've got it all finished, and one thing that you can do if you would like is you want to kind of go back and look at it and make sure that everything looks like it's adhered very well to the pillow cover. If it's not, you could always put in a little bit more of your fabric glue. Another thing I did several times throughout the process, I'm making sure that it's not sticking to the paper underneath, and it is not. It's completely clear, so I'm just going to pull that out. You can see it looks a little damp, but it's not wet, so it did not go all the way through, so that was good. But this is, let's see what it looks like. There it is. I'm going to show it to you once we put the pillow in it, and it will be a beautiful pillow for Valentine's Day.